Hi, my name is Maurice Harker. I want to introduce you to our Men of Moroni program. A lot of people have heard about it. A lot of people are curious about it. What exactly is it? What goes on there? Men of Moroni is a training program. It's a self-mastery training program that is built upon the same principles as the Sons of Helaman program, which has been around for about 12 years. Men of Moroni has been around for about 8 years, maybe 10 years now. Men of Moroni is a training program that's built upon a synergy of eternal principles as gathered from modern-day prophets, older prophets, synchronized with the most cutting-edge science of human psychology, behavioral self-mastery, addiction recovery. When a man joins Men of Moroni, he gets a brief orientation from our leader, the leader of Men of Moroni, who walks you through what you're going to be experiencing and introduces you to the training book called Like Dragons Did They Fight, which I authored about 8 years ago. And some of the other training tools are Manpower Journal, Manpower Calendars, and you'll get an understanding of what those include. Then you're introduced to a team training experience. Now, we discovered, or have discovered, that long-distance webinar groups are equally as powerful as those that are in person. It's always nice to bond and touch shoulders with and connect with men in person, but we're not able to provide that for everyone around the world. But the brotherhood experience has been quite phenomenal with the men who come online and meet each other there. Usually there's only about between 8 and 12 men at a time. You see, we don't want to have too many, because if there's too many, then the training gets watered down and people get lost in the shuffle, or there's some subgrouping, and that doesn't really help. Each Men of Moroni meeting is led by a man who has graduated from the program and has gone through extensive training in order to lead a group with skill. These men work hard to provide 3 main environmental elements that I really push them to include. First environmental element is brotherhood. The experience of we are brothers, we are working together, we are fighting, we are bonded well with each other, which is very much the opposite of shame, where you are broken and we are okay. Number 2, have the Spirit present, at least in ebbs and flows, where there's edification, there's upliftment, there's insight and ideas that are like, wow, I have a really, I gained an understanding I didn't have before. And then the element of warrior chemistry, or a ferocious dedication to succeeding, and to making sure that our loved ones and our families are protected. These are the main ingredients. There's lots of features that come with it. There's an accountability phase where each person reports exactly how they've done recently, both in their core behaviors and in their daily rituals, to make sure that they're staying sharp. There is pressure. This is more like a boot camp. This is more like we have things to learn and we must get them done well and successfully in order to protect our loved ones. When I think about the soldiers, the warriors in the Book of Mormon, if we isolate specifically the Sons of Helaman, in the Sons of Helaman stories, these young men, they did align themselves with God. They did connect with that divine power. And it played a few roles for them. 1, it increased their protection. 2, it provided them with an increase of spiritual or angelic endurance. And 3, it helped them heal and keep them from dying and collapsing completely. But these soldiers would not have done as well as they did if they had not been well trained in the actions of a soldier. They had to have done drills and drills and drills and drills. If the enemy does this, you respond like this. If the enemy does this, you respond like this. If the enemy does this, you respond like this. This is what we do in Men of Moroni. We drill and we drill and we drill. We do not recommend that you attend or participate in Men of Moroni in place of the 12 Steps ARP program. The 12 Steps ARP program is an amazing opportunity, service, where the main focus is connecting to God, healing, and emotional recovery, to getting the spiritual and emotional side recovered, which empowers a soldier to go back to war and fight and win. Addiction and self-mastery is not so much an illness, while there is recovery that takes place. And I will have some scientists who want to fight with me about this, but it is a psychological war. And if you look closely at the war chapters of the Book of Mormon, they are a phenomenal outline of how to win self-mastery wars, how to win addiction wars. There are so many stories there on how to be prepared and respond correctly in such a way that you can win against something attacking you. Okay? So, Men of Moroni is the training group. 12 Steps ARP is the healing support group. Okay? There are many, many details of what you're going to want to learn. While ARP is a free program run by volunteers, Men of Moroni, there is a cost. It is a very minimal cost compared to any other treatment program you're going to experience. There are two main areas where this money goes. A small portion goes to administrative costs, because the men who run it, unless you choose the clinical level where a full trained therapist runs your group, there's a little more of an expense to that. But if you join the usual Men of Moroni group, these men are not paid. These men are volunteers. They think of it as part of their 12th step, or they're giving back. But these men, the participants and the leaders, decided some time ago that a secondary way they wanted to give back, because the women did not choose to be hurt by these experiences. They did not ask for the experience of betrayal trauma. These men have decided to have more than 50%, closer to 75% of what is invested goes to paying for the women to receive therapeutic level services in what we call our Worth group. Worth is an acronym. Women of Rebirth Therapeutic Healing. So the wives do not have to pay for services. Now, you don't always get a direct correlation. Husband is in Men of Moroni, women are in the Worth group, wives are. Sometimes the man is in without his wife being ready to attend. Sometimes the wife is attending and some other man is indirectly paying for her to acquire these services. Okay? But our Men of Moroni program empowers us financially to serve the needs of the women. So, that is your introduction to the Men of Moroni program. We will attempt to provide you with links here to some testimonials, some experiences from some of the men, and some of their wives will also make comments on what it's been like for the men to go through the program. I hope to have the technological skills to provide you with a link. If not, just type in Men of Moroni, life-changing services. Also, there is a free electronic copy of the book, Like Dragons Did They Fight, that you can access. There's paperback available. You can also donate money towards our opportunity to reach out to more people when you download the ebook. And finally, for those of you who are making progress as husbands to recover from it and as wives who are moving forward, don't forget to look at our men's marriage repair workshops every week and our women's marriage repair workshops that are also made available from time to time. It's a pleasure serving you. We want to make sure you get your needs met. We'll see you next time.